He is the creator and sustainer of all the worlds, whether those worlds are known or unknown to mankind. Whether those worlds are known or unknown to mankind.
Welcome back, fellow YouTubers and cactaholics. Dustin with CACTUSMAIN again. Today is going to be a video on harvesting cacti seed, how to harvest your own seed. It's pretty basic. Most of you already know how to do it. It's actually straightforward and simple. You get a cactus, Mammillaria prolifera that I have here, with plenty of seed. The hardest part is knowing when to pull. If your fruits just came out, if they just popped up, it's not time. But these fruits have been on here for a good, I'm gonna say 5 months, so it's time. Other species, the fruits will shrivel up and die and turn black, and that's when you peel them, pick them and peel them open. Other species, they will actually crack open and just start spilling seed. Other species don't even look like it's a fruit. So I got a couple of those I'll show you in a second. But you get your cactus and you just start pulling fruit. There's one. Start just pulling them gently, of course, because you don't want to tear your plant apart. And that's a nice picture of my hand, sorry. But you just start pulling them. You see, nice little fruit. I got plenty on this guy, plus I have many more. There's a little bit of trash in there from my old greenhouse, but all those fruit I gotta pull. So that's the first step, is getting them off of the cactus and knowing when to get them off. Like I said, some of them will shrivel up. It just depends on the species, and the longer you have a certain species, the more you'll get used to knowing when the fruit's ready to be pulled. Also, if you start pulling on a fruit, let me try and get one in here. If you start pulling on one and it just won't let go, it's not ready. Alright, but you see I barely pulled on that guy. I'm barely pulling. It's not even taking anything. Now, if you're someone who does not like the spines, you can always use some tweezers and tweeze out, if your tweezers are big enough. Sit. There you go. But to me, it doesn't bother me one bit. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to pluck all of these, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I got the fruit plucked. They look like little peppers, don't they? Mammillaria prolifera. You really don't even need to grow these guys from seed, because once you get one, they just keep popping all over the place. But all these fruit are ready. I got plenty more. I don't need to get many more right now. When I was talking about they'll start shriveling up on some species, they'll do it on these as well. And here is an example. I don't know if I can get the camera to focus in on it. I can't tell. You see it shriveling, and you can actually see the black seed inside of it. Okay. So the next step is, and you really don't have to do what I'm doing, but I just go ahead and take it, slice the fruit, open it up. If you can slice it a little bit better than me, go ahead. And be careful not to cut yourself. That goes without saying. And then you open her up. She's being a little difficult. She's really juicy. Can you guys see that? All those seed in there. I wish the camera would focus good. Plenty of seed. Now you can go ahead and scrape these seed out right now if you wanted to and lay them down to dry. What I do is lay them on a piece of paper towel and let them dry for 24 to 48 hours, and then when you come back, it's a whole lot easier to get them out. You just run your fingers through and scrape them right out. See? More seed. So that's all you do, is just keep cutting your fruit. It's a tedious process. Make sure you do it on a paper towel because you see there is a lot of coloration, red color in it. Nice, wide open, viable Mammillaria prolifera seed. Beautiful. And like I said, you can go ahead and you can dig them out right now if you wanted to, but I find it's easier because when you dry it, because once it's dry, all you do is you just take it and run your finger down and the seed just falls right out. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the rest of these open and lay them out to dry, and then once they're dried, I'll come back and show it to you. Well, you know, this is just my method, guys. Look at that, I got a seed stuck to my finger already. A very, very important thing to remember when doing this: only do one species at a time. I have another one set over here to the side that I'm going to show you that I said that sometimes it doesn't even look like a fruit. Yeah, I'm going to get this out of the way before I bring those over because I do not want to mix my seed. Some people don't really care, but you know, if I'm offering seed to somebody and I say, hey, you know, it's all 100% Mammillaria prolifera, and they end up with some Parodia magnifica seed, they're going to be, I don't know how upset they'd be, but that's just me. That's my analism, I guess you would call it. So, alright, got that little harvest all sliced in half, ready to dry out. Like I said, you can go ahead and pull the seed out right now if you want to. It's just a sticky, gooey mess, and I prefer to dry it out and they just boop, fall out. Plus, for storage, then there's no moisture. You've already gotten them dried out. What you can do, let me see if I can't zoom in so you guys can see some seed. And zoom out just a tad bit. What you can do is set it in a warm place. I would not put cactus fruit cut open like this outside due to the fact ants will love it. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my reptile room, kind of close to some of my heat lamps. Not too close because I do not want to burn up the seed, but it will help in speeding up the flesh, or speeding up the drying out of the flesh. Oh man, I wish that macro on my camera worked. But yep, got them all. Probably got a few hundred seed here. That's just off of one small plant. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So that's it. Depending on, you know, how you dry it out, it could take a day, it could take 2 days, it could take 5 hours. So once I have them all dried out, I'll come back and show you guys on how I quickly just flip them out, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, so I got them dried up a little bit more. So you just take your dried up pieces. They're not completely dry. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of have a new light set up to try and see if that'll work, but you just run your fingers through and just peel. No, they're still a little wet and sticky. That's fine. And you just pull the seed out. I don't know if you guys can see I'm pulling seed out. And see right there? Got 3 of them. So that's basically all you do. And I say that's basically all you do, but it's quite a lot of work. You see how many I gotta go through and do. We just do that, roll the seeds out. It's they're not quite as dry as I would like because they are sticking to my fingers. Can't get those two off, but you get the gist of it. If I hadn't dried them out any, they definitely would be a whole lot stickier. Alright, so there's more. So we got one down, a couple hundred more to go. I don't think it's 100, but so that's basically it on harvesting seed. As you can see, it helps too if you have thumbnails. I really don't. Sometimes I do. And then you just run them down and pull the seed out. Now for storage of your seed, it all depends. Are you doing long-term storage? Like, are you harvesting the seed right now and waiting till next season, next winter, for a whole year? Or are you getting ready to plant them in a couple of days? So if you were going to hold on to them till next season, what I would do is get a a used prescription bottle or medicine bottle. Clean it out really good. Make sure it's really dry. Make sure your seed is really dry, and put them in there, and you can store them in that. Otherwise, you can just take, you know what? I don't even have another paper towel with me. You can, fill this whole thing up with paper towel. Just fold it over on the ends. Store it for a couple of weeks if you wanted, and when you're ready to plant them, just unfold it and plant away. Some people use the little baggies. I always find it a little hard to find those little baggies, and a lot of people refer to them as drug baggies, so I don't even like to get them because, just the association with it. So what I'm going to do now is finish pulling all these seed out. I'm hoping you guys can see it better now that I have like a little, not necessarily a light tent, but a better little lighting system set up. But I'm going to go ahead and pull the rest of the seed out, and I'll be back when it's all done so you guys can see a pile of seed. Alright, so now we've deseeded all the fruit. It's had a lot of good time to dry. Some of it's still a little bit sticky. Let me see if I can't zoom in. Bunches of little bitty itty bitty seeds, and my macro doesn't work. Alright, so like I said, with storage, you can let me zoom back out. You can store it many different ways, or you can just go ahead straight on ahead and plant it. But you can, get a paper towel, get some on your fingers, put it in a paper towel, and obviously if you're doing more, it'd be fine. Fold up your paper towel. Pretty simple, huh? Spin it around just like that. Write what it is on there, the date you got it, and you're good for a couple of months. If your seed is really wet still, this is probably the preferred method to do it, so you don't get any kind of fungus or bacteria growing. You know me, I'm crazy about my sterilization. It has to do with work. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that to the side. What I'm using now for storage is these little tubes, little plastic tubes. They're not airtight, so even if they're still a little wet, they'll dry out in it. Got my Mammillaria prolifera seeds. So yeah, that's it. Just gonna store these all up in there, and then when I'm ready to pot them up, I'll pot them up, and of course have another video for you guys of all my seed that I've salvaged for this season that I was not gonna do, that I am doing now. All right, thanks for watching the basic how-to. I'm pretty sure most of you know how to. Pretty sure most of you know how to do this already. But for those of you that didn't want to hurt your seed or whatever, this is a basic how-to on how to get valuable seed from your cactus. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one, and as always, happy growing. I almost forgot, guys, I'm all done, got my seed in there. There is a subscriber of mine who messaged me back in August, asking if I had any Mammillaria prolifera seeds or fruit to spare. I have lost who you were through the wonderful YouTube comment and messaging system. If you still want them, contact me. I have them available. And I do apologize if I keep saying Mammillaria instead of Mammillaria. It's old habit. Thanks for watching, guys. Contact me. I forgot. I didn't forget. I lost your contact info. I got seed. I got hundreds, if not thousands, more fruit to go through. So I got plenty of seed if you still want it, bud.